Okay, so what we'll try to understand a few things. That when we are talking of Mahavidyas, our journey is starting from the smashan, from the cremation ground, because Shiva lives in the cremation. They also live in the cremation ground. So the absolute of the body is what we call as bhasma. So when the body is burnt in the cremation ground, what remains is bhasma, and that bhasma is the absolute. It cannot be reduced further. The body cannot be reduced further. So the body reaches its moksha, its absolute, in the cremation ground. Right? Now, so we are going to visualize that we are on the verge of dying, and we'll see our own body being reduced to ashes. So we want to go through that process. Now, some of the symptoms that death is approaching, and so we'll take some of the symptoms. The first 5 are those related to the 5 tattvas, and we will start from, say, Prithvi. So even as death approaches, if you're sleeping on the bed, you may, as Prithvi Tattva takes its sanskar away, you may feel that somebody has taken away the bed and you're hanging in mid-air, right? And nobody has taken away the bed, but the Prithvi Tattva, it's taking its sanskar away. So that feeling will come for some time, momentarily, and then again it will come back, that you're sleeping on the bed. Similarly, when the Jal Tattva goes, that is the water element goes, you'll feel the whole body drying up, right? As if there is no taste left in the body. And you'll feel that somebody should give you water to drink. Again, that will go away. Right? The third is the Agni Tattva. And there will be a momentary feeling of blindness. That even if you're on the bed, your loved people are around you. But there will be a momentary feeling of blindness. You can't see anyone. Now, these, what you call symptoms, come at death. And if we know about them, if we have practiced them, then we remain stable at that time. We know that just this tattva is taking away its sanskar. Similarly, when Vayu Tattva goes, you will feel as if there is no feeling in the body, you can't touch anything. And when Akash Tattva goes, you will feel that you become deaf, you can't hear anything. The last symptom that death has come is forgetfulness. Because at the moment of death, there is a flash of light, and in that light we forget everything of this life. So, in that flash, the last thing we will forget is our own name. So just as I've met you, say 1 year or 3 years ago, but I try to remember your name, but I can't remember your name. Similarly, when we can't remember our own name, then the next moment is the moment of death, right? So we'll go through these, what you call, symptoms, right? And we'll try to visualize our own body being burnt, right? Cremated into ashes. So that will be a kind of meditation which goes with our, what you call, these talks on the Mahavidyas. Because the whole setting of the Mahavidya is in the cremation ground, right? So let us start from there. Music. Try to breathe with the music, breathe in rhythm, close your eyes. Relax the body. Remember the cremation ground, the smashan. Countless people body has been reduced in this smashan. Remember all those people, and you will feel a kind of tremor go through your body. Allow yourself to feel that tremor. Now we are lying on the bed in our home. Death is just round the corner, some time away, and we are waiting for the moment of death. We have lived this life, enjoyed this life through the 5 tattvas. So we want to thank the 5 tattvas. It is because of them that we were able to experience and enjoy life. Each tattva at the moment of death takes its sanskar back for some time, as if it had given us a loan to experience the tattva, and now it is taking that loan back. We start with Prithvi tattva. Here you're sitting on the chair. Just feel that somebody has pulled away the chair and you're sitting in midair. Try to sense that feeling, as if you're lying on the bed but somebody has taken the bed away. Again, the support will come back. So whenever we got support in our life, it was Prithvi Tattva. It is the Tattva of happiness. And we have enjoyed so many moments of happiness. So we thank it for those moments of happiness. The Tanmatra of Prithvi is smell, and we enjoyed so many smells in our life, different fragrances in our life. So we again thank the Prithvi Tattva for that. The next Tattva is the water element. And as the water element takes its sanskars away, we feel as if all the juices of the body, all the water of the body is drying up. We are feeling so thirsty, so dry inside, so hot inside. But don't worry, this is going to come back. It's just momentary, it takes its sanskar. All the tastes that we enjoyed in life were because of the water element. All the relationships, what we call as lagani, the affections, which we enjoyed were because of the water element. So we thank the water element. The next element is the fire element. And when the fire element grows, we are going to feel cold, very, very cold inside. Just a moment ago, we were feeling dry, thirsty, and hot, and now we are suddenly feeling very cold inside. With the fire element going, our eyesight goes. We become blind temporarily. We can't see anything. There's darkness all around. We thank the fire element. It has given us comfort throughout our lives. The next is the air element, the wind element. It gave us the power of touch, to hug someone, to feel someone, to touch someone. But now even if we touch, we don't feel anything. The sanskar has gone. It gave us the power to move. We were free to move wherever we wanted. So we thank the wind element. And finally the akash tattva, the ether, the sky element. And as it takes its sanskar away, we suddenly for some time become deaf. We can't hear anything. We lose the power of movement. It is the element of freedom, the element of dissolving. So feel yourself dissolving into that ultimate. As death approaches, we will rewind our life right from our old age to young age. We will go through our life once again in about 3 minutes time. So feel your life rewinding again, as if you're going back in time, and all the major decisions you took in life, have a look at them. If you want to change them, and come back to being a baby again. As the moment of death comes, suddenly we feel a deep pull in our body, as if from every cell of the body, every extremity of the body, all the energy is being pulled into one dot. And that bindu, that dot is at the bottom of our backbone in the perineum. And we feel a deep pulling over there, as if something wants to escape from the body. The soul wants to go out of the body. And on that pull, that we see the soul, it goes out through the top of the head, and the body falls lifeless. See your own body, lifeless there. Look at it. 4 to 6 people come and pick it up and take it to the cremation ground, and see your own body being burned to ashes. Nothing remains, just the ashes. And then a strong gust of wind comes and the ashes scatter in all directions, and just an emptiness remains there. A shunyata remains there. Try to remain with that emptiness, doing the rhythmic breathing for 1 minute. Slowly come back. Slowly open your eyes. So this we were doing every day. So if you want, we will continue every day till we take this. Yesterday, we were talking of male energy and female energy. Let us try to understand a little. Now, when we tense any part of the body, we are creating male energy, right? When we release the tension, we are creating female energy. Now, between this male energy and female energy is what we call as attention. Attention is light. Attention is the neutralizing force. It is the light of the inner spirit of Shiva. Attention. Now, when we approach tension, we can approach tension in two ways. One, tense, and we release the tension. Right? But there is another way where we keep on increasing the tension, we keep on increasing, and we keep on applying attention. When attention meets tension, we are able to hold higher and higher states of tension. That is, we are able to digest more and more tension in life. So one approach is to release the tension and go away from the tension. And the second approach is to apply attention. And as we apply attention and create more tension, and again apply attention, I keep on putting it, I don't feel the tension, I sort of digest the tension. The whole spiritual journey is not about releasing of tension. It is about increasing the power of digesting more and more tension. When we go on a holiday, we are releasing tension. But when we are calm in the marketplace, we are digesting tension. Yeah. Am I coming across this? So when we keep on, like we exercise our muscles of the body, similarly when we exercise our psychic muscles, we are able to hold higher and higher levels of tension. Right use of tension is what is called as austerity, tapa. Right? For any kind of tapa, you have to create tension. There must be a struggle between male energy and female energy. And in that friction between male energy and female energy, the fire of tapa is created. Now, when we cannot hold tension, the muscles go into spasm. And when the muscles go into spasm, we react. Right? Reaction is the fuse has blown. The wire cannot hold any more tension. Right? The fuse, there's been an overload. The fuse has gone. The idea is to make the fuse stronger and stronger. Right? And so whenever you're in a situation where the fuse can blow, try to create what we call some kind of insulation. So that insulation does not allow the fuse to blow, does not allow you to react completely. One of the things we do is we block the right nostril, and that is a kind of insulation. We tense and relax the muscles, it is a kind of insulation, right? Now here we see that there was a build-up of tension because Shiva saw Kali in her terrible form, in her most frightful form. But when Shiva closed his eyes and he opened his eyes again, suddenly Kali had turned into a beautiful, woman in front of him. So similarly, we try to understand each moment in life. How is male energy playing and how is female energy playing? And from the right tension, we create the tapa of life. And through tapa, our psychic muscles get developed and we can learn to hold higher and higher, states of tension. Right? Samadhi is both. It is the highest state of tension also, and it is the highest state of relaxation also. But it is not the relaxation of release. It is the relaxation of a high state of attention, that state of relaxation. So in life, whenever we have obstacles, try to look at those obstacles and see if there is a way where you can hold the tension of those obstacles. Don't immediately get rid of the obstacles. First, increase the power of your muscles a little and then get rid of the obstacles. Whenever we are doing something, it is female energy. Whenever we are seeing something, it is male energy. The Atma can only see, it cannot do. Right? And we must remember this. It cannot do anything. To do anything, it has created Shakti. Right? It does not know how to do. So it can only see. So if I am thinking, I am in female energy. But if I am seeing, I am in male energy. But to play the game of life, female energy is necessary. Without that, it is not possible. All the activities, all the forms, everything in life grow out of female energy. Right? So there is the seeing energy and there is the doing energy. Attention is seeing energy. So when we are right use of attention, right, that itself is male energy. But our attention gets seduced in the events of life. Our attention gets hypnotized in the events of life. That is, if the Jeev, the soul, comes with 100 units of attention, that attention gets attached to the objects of the senses. It gets attached in relationships. I say this is my son, some attention gets attached to my son. I say it is my car, some attention gets attached to my car. And the soul does not have enough, the essence does not have enough of attention to carry on the spiritual journey. It has to take the attention back from the objects of the senses, from the objects of relationship. It has to take the attention back. This taking of attention back is vairagya. Leaving the thing is not vairagya. Leaving your car is not vairagya. But taking your attention out of the car, the attachment out of the car, and using the attention for your journey, for your spiritual journey, that is vairagya. So we live the same life, we live with our children, we love them, but we slowly cut off our attachment to them. And there is a difference between love and attachment. In attachment, we can feel worry, chinta. In love, there is no chinta. We know the higher takes whatever form it has to take, and that is their destiny. Right? So, we have to understand this, that wherever we worry, then we are attached. We are not loving that person. There may be affection for that person, but that affection is not transformed into love. When affection transforms into love, there is detachment. Right? And in real love, there is a supreme detachment. So our attention is all seduced and held by objects of the senses. And when this happens, the Jeev is without light, and the Jeev feels he is in jail. He feels he is trapped somewhere. Shiv wants to run, but Shiva is paralyzed. He cannot run. And if he wants to run, these forms are covering the 10 directions. They don't allow him to run. Similarly, our inner Jeev wants to run. It wants to escape. But it does not have the power to escape, because the power to escape is attention, and that attention is spent everywhere. It is as if I want to go on a long journey. But to go on a long journey, I need money. Right? But my money is invested everywhere. Just now my pocket is empty. Right? So I may be a millionaire, I may have a lot of money, but it is invested all over the place. Right? And to go on my journey, I don't have enough to buy the bus ticket also. So this is our situation just now, that we want to go on a journey, but we don't have enough money to buy the bus. Even though we are millionaires, everyone. Right? But we don't have enough money to buy the bus ticket. So we have to take our attention back. We will only take our attention back if there is a deep inner yearning to be free. The very fact that you have come here, that means there is some inner yearning to be free. You want mukti, you want moksha. That is, otherwise you would not come here. Right? So there must be that deep inner yearning for that. Now the first step in escaping from jail is to realize that we are in jail. If we keep on investing our attention in new places, then definitely we have not realized that we are in jail, right? I have a desire that today I have a good car, but tomorrow I want a better car. I have not realized that I'm in jail. A car is just a necessity to go from one place to A place to B place, right? But instead of that necessity, I make a luxury out of it. Then I'm still investing my attention in the wrong place, right? I help my children, I give love to my children, but I keep on worrying of what is going to happen to them tomorrow, right? Then my attention is all being eaten by my worrying. My attention is totally there in my worries. How can I move on this journey, right? In this journey, attention goes back to where it came from its source. There is only one spiritual journey. Forget all religions of the world. There is only one spiritual journey. Attention has come from somewhere. Take attention back to where it has come from. That is all there is about it, right? The source of attention is there inside of us. How do we? There may be different ways to take the attention back inside. That is a different thing, right? But one way does not have to be better than another way. So, if we keep on investing more attention, we have not realized that we are in a jail. And if we've not realized that we are in a jail, how is Shiva going to escape from the jail? How are we going to break free? The more attention we give, because attention is light. So the more attention I invest in different places, seduced, identified in different places, the less light I have. I am in darkness. And if I'm in darkness, I'm in a state of unconscious sleep. I'm in a state of sleep. And to wake me up from sleep, a shock is needed. In life, we get enough of shocks, but we don't know how to use the shocks in the right way. Right? The shock must, when we get, supposing the wife gives me a shock early in the morning, if I react, then I'm not using the shock in the right way. If I give some excuse, I justify myself, I'm not using the shock in the right way. But if I allow the shock to go in, and the shock for a moment wakes up that, what you call, inner soul which has been sleeping for one moment, then I suddenly realize that I'm in jail. This pain of the shock I'm feeling is the pain of being in jail. All pain, all suffering is because we are in jail. But we feel we can get rid of the suffering. We feel, if I change the wife tomorrow and she gives me a cup of tea very nicely every morning, then I'll never be in jail. Of course, the wife is never going to change. But, right, we keep on, what do you call, expecting, and we keep on investing attention. And we don't use the shock. Life from morning to evening is a series of shocks. And those shocks must be used in the right way to awaken the soul inside. Attention is the, what do you call, it is the belonging, the possession of the soul, of the essence. It has been abducted by the machine, the body-brain system. Whenever my attention is stuck somewhere, it can be stuck in my bank balance, in my home, in so many things, in so many people I love, my friends, etc. Wherever my attention is stuck, in whichever place my attention is stuck, right, it is the machine has abducted the attention of the soul. And when I try to control attention, it is the soul becoming active again. It is the Jeev becoming active again. And the whole point is to control attention in different ways. Attention can go out through 10 pathways. Anyway, the 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the 2 nostrils, the mouth, the skin, the anus, the sex organ, right? So attention can go out through any of these. This thing. And we see there are 10 Mahavidyas blocking these 10 pathways. Now, attention, we will divide it into different types. One is passive attention and active attention. When attention moves mechanically, it is passive attention. Right? Supposing you insult me and I feel hurt, so I have interpreted what you have said as an insult. Can you understand? The whole spiritual journey is a journey of finding something which in our Shastra is called as Artha. Artha is a wide variety of meanings, but we will take it as meaning just now. To find meaning in life, to find your aim in life. So you have insulted me, I have, interpreted it. The earth that I have come out is, this is an insult. Right? Now, to make, this has happened automatically. It has happened thousands of times. So attention is just automatically moved there. I have not used any attention for this. But if I make an effort to change the earth, then I'm creating a new pathway in my brain. I'm taking attention along a different pathway. Am I coming across in this? Can you see? Right? Supposing I say that, okay, I have felt hurt, but the ego is hurt and I want to observe the ego, I want to be free of the ego, then I've changed the artha. This process of changing the artha is called making attention which was passive into active attention. And this is something which we must do all the time. Keep on changing the artha. You're stuck in traffic. So the mechanical, pathway of attention is I'm going to be late, I'm stuck in traffic, and the government is not making new roads, etc., etc. Right? But change the artha. Now is the time to increase my power of patience. It is a time to increase my muscles of endurance. Right? So change the artha. And when we can change the artha, we change attention from passive attention into active attention. Similarly, there is external attention and there is internal attention. When I'm seeing something, it is a kind of passive attention. But when I'm observing something, it is a kind of active attention. Now, you may have left your home every day to go to your office, and you pass your neighbor's house, and you see your neighbor's window. And if I was to ask you the design of your neighbor's window with the color, and you would not be able to give me a proper picture. You have seen it, but you have not observed it. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Spirituality starts not just by seeing, it starts by observing. We have to have internal attention and active internal attention. We have to observe what is happening inside, what is happening in my mind, what is happening in my psyche. Now, there are higher forms of attention. The first is directed attention. So whenever we are studying for an exam, we are using directed attention. When we are watching a serial, we are not using directed attention, unless somewhere there's a gap in the serial, right? And we have not understood how this scene is connected to this scene. Either we go back a little in the serial, so then we pay attention to see, but only for that much time. Otherwise, when we study for an exam, when we are doing any hard work, we have directed attention. Then Gurdjieff talks about double-arrowed attention, dividing attention and one attention outside, one attention on my reactions inside. Tavaria ji talks of a different kind of attention, where he talks about attention plus sensitivity, bringing higher and higher levels of sensitivity to the situation. And that is the beauty, that Tavaria ji does not talk what Gurdjieff said, double-arrowed attention. He talks about higher levels of sensitivity. When we experience a situation with higher levels of sensitivity, we can turn that situation into what the Vaishnavas call ras. We eat that situation. That becomes a part of our being. What is the driving force of our life? We have to see. As long as desire is the driving force, we keep on creating new desires, right? Our attention is always going to go outside. right? But if the new desire that I want to be free of desires, this is also a desire, right? But we have to create this new desire, that is there a state inside which there is freedom from desires? We are not bound by desire. Can we experience that state? So that inner state of freedom from desire, that desire for that state allows us to take attention inside. When attention folds, like you iron a shirt and you fold the shirt. Similarly, when attention folds and looks upon itself, it is only then that the real spiritual journey has started. Till then, no spiritual journey starts. Attention has to go back and start looking at its own self, where it has come from. So, I just wanted to take this as a kind of introduction to where we are going today, right? That our attention is on the path of decay. We keep on wasting our attention. It is on the path of decay. And the most negative part of Kali is that Kali eats away everything. She devours away everything, right? And if we become a victim to that part of Kali, the lower part of Kali, where every moment she is eating away everything, devouring away, then we will never be able to wake up and go into the higher parts of Kali. This thing. Kali's her form is very frightful. Even Shiva got afraid of her form. So she's telling us that shocks come in life, right? Shocks have a frightful form. They have that form of Kali. Use those shocks to wake up the inner soul. Don't waste those shocks. Many times in life, somebody close to us dies, a shock comes. We may lose some money in business, a shock comes. Some accident happens, a shock comes. It may have already happened in our lives a couple of times. Ask ourselves, have we used those shocks positively, or have we buffered those shocks, greased those shocks so we don't feel them? Time heals all wounds, and that is the end of everything. And we have not used those shocks. These shocks which come in our lives are very, very valuable, and use those shocks as if they are the frightful form of Kali, and use those shocks for awakening the inner Shiva, right? So I thought I'll just take some kind of introduction before we go into understanding Kali. Kali as time. We saw that initially there was just a bindu, and that bindu stretched in all directions. And out of that bindu, the universe was created. In that stretching was the creation of time, Kali, the first. And time has two aspects. One is the stretching in that direction, but when any elastic is stretched, there is a reverse tension. It wants to go back to being a bindu. And it is these two forces in life. And it is the whole spiritual journey is how to balance these two forces. One force is taking us from birth to death, and one force is taking us from life to something higher. Where are we? We are identified with which force? It's very important. So she is the feminine form of time. Shiva is called Kal and she is called as Kali. She is the feminine form of time, the energy of time, the fullness of time. Time, Kal is the changing aspect of nature. In nature, everything is changing every moment. And because everything is in time, right? That is why all of us are moving in time somewhere. And because we are in time, we are in this changing aspect. Everything is changing from our body to our thoughts to our being. And because of this changing aspect, we can move on the path of transformation. Time is the power of expansion. Shakti and Shiva were one, but Shakti separated from Shiva. In this separation, Kali was created. Whenever we want to recognize something, whenever we want to understand something, we must be little separate from that thing. Otherwise, we cannot see it, we cannot understand it, we cannot study it. There must be some form of separation. And it is time which allows this separation. Right? Now, in our Shastra, we say that absolute, that Paramatma, it has three qualities. Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti and Gyan Shakti. That is desire energy, movement energy and knowing energy. Three energies are there. In Gurdjieff, he takes this as will, consciousness and attention. Will, attention and consciousness. Right? So this Ichha Shakti, the desire from the Bindu, Ekoham Bahushyam, from that one point to become the many, to become this multitude of the universe. That inner desire is its Ichha Shakti. Gurdjieff calls this as will, the power of will, Sankalp Shakti. I wanted to ask one question to all of you, because many of you are feeling very tired. So, we said that the Bindu stretched. And all of you have, somebody I think yesterday or I think was talking about manifestation, and somebody was saying, that person, he's not come today, he was talking about manifestation. Now, in relation to this stretching, how does this law of attraction and manifestation work? Come on, let us think about it. How does it work?
As per your vibrations, your vibration.
In relation to the stretching.
Oh, in relation.
In relation to the stretching. You know,
the more you stretch apart, you bounce back.
Right? So what does it mean?
So if you repel, you are going to get attracted again. So repel and attraction.
See, a tennis player will play against the wall.
Wall, yeah. So
right?
bounces back.
Similarly, now in cricket, they have a machine which bowls for you.
Yeah.
Right. What do I mean by manifestation? What do I mean by this, to attract something in my life? So this whole universe, what is it? This whole Srushti, this, whether it is pinned or whether it is Brahman, macrocosm or microcosm. What is it?
Just vibrations.
It is an elastic membrane.
Okay.
It is an elastic membrane. Right? Now, if I have a thought, or I have a feeling, I have a sensation, I am throwing the ball against the
elastic membrane.
And it is coming back to me. Can you understand? Right? Of course, I throw the ball and what comes back is suffering. Right? So somewhere I don't know how to be a good bowler. I am not a good bowler. Right? I have to throw the ball in such a way, that is my thought, my feeling, which is going on every moment, I'm throwing it out, and it is rebounding, and this rebounding and coming back we call as karma. Right? Because it is an elastic membrane. So I want to manifest something in my life. So what do I have to do? I have to throw the ball in the right way. There must be a right thought, a right feeling. And if it goes against that membrane, then what I want in my life will come back to me. But if I keep on throwing, I want to take revenge upon you, right? And I keep on throwing that thought, but you have taken my money and you're not returning it. And I keep on, then what is going to come back to me? What will come back to me?
Similar events.
Same thing. It will come back. Right? So when we talk of this stretching, the stretching of the bindu, we are talking of a universe which is totally elastic. It is made out of what you call an elastic substance. And every thought we have, every feeling we have is going and banging against it and coming back to us every moment. We say, why did this happen in my life? But it has to happen. Why did you you should have thrown a googly. You threw a wrong ball, right? Wrong ball. Right? So I was just talking about that, right? So thank you. Tell me when to stop. I'm not aware of the time.
We still have time.
When you said first there was just the bindu.
Huh?
Point, bindu. What is that?
Yesterday we said that there was that divine emptiness. That emptiness in Shastra is called as Satyam. Bhu Bhuva Swaha Maha Jana Tapa Satyam. Right? And in that a certain, because this desire energy, okay, I want to, what do you call, manifest, right? The point was made, and that point started expanding, right? And it's separated into Shiva and Shakti. We can't say that Shiva was there or Shakti was there. Both were there, right? In that separation, one became Shiva and one became Shakti. But because there is this pulling back. Okay.
So, but Rajan bhai, when you are saying Shiva and Shakti are separate, right? But when consciousness is going back to the consciousness, which is Shiva, in that Shiva still Shakti is there, right? Because Shakti is every moment, whatever the happening, even though the Shiva is non-acting part, Shakti is part of that Shiva though, right?
Yeah, she has just separated to create the world.
So, no, but when you say that consciousness go back to the consciousness, so when that happens, the Shakti stays separate or it
She merges back.
merges back to the
She merges back. That is the whole effort.
Yeah.
Why can she merge back? How is it possible that she can? Chalo, we have come here. How is it? What has happened that the possibility of merging back is there?
Because because of the elasticity?
The whole creation is elastic. So there is one force which is Big Bang, wants to create. Of course, science cannot see the other force which wants to go back. Go back. Science cannot see that other force at present. That there is another force also which wants to go back. Can you get it? It is because of that this whole spiritual journey is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. Right? But as long as we are riding that outside, the becoming force, then we have to turn around. And now,
So in an individual person,
Right.
An individual person, when the person starts the journey, right, and the Shiva and Shakti are separate because Shakti is doing things around and all, and Shakti realized that I want to go back to where I came from or separated from. So when Shakti Shakti pays attention to, or the consciousness itself wants to go back to the consciousness or merge into it. So then when the Shakti merges with the Shiva, then
It can happen in one individual.
Huh.
It cannot happen generally.
yeah,
It cannot happen
yeah.
generally
But it is the same process for every person.
for everyone. It is the similar process for everyone. We cannot say it is exactly the same
similar,
process for
okay.
everyone.
But is it not that Shakti doesn't have anything that it wants to do what? It is Shiva who wants to elevate himself.
Shiva is already in a state of elevation. Right? Shiva does not need to be elevated. There is nothing like Shuddha Atma or Ashuddha Atma. Atma is Atma. Even if I give it 100 galis, it cannot become Ashuddha Atma. You know what is happening, everybody, that these people have insulted the Hindu gods. How can a god be insulted? Right? It's not possible. Right? Because that state is the never changing state. You take out all the Shakti, that state is still the same. You understand? It is still Purna. Right? If all the Shakti merges back, still nothing changes over there. Right? But still Shakti is ever changing. Ever changing. So, this is the riddle. And the riddle can be experienced. The riddle cannot be, what do you call, totally opened out. In a state of inner feeling, we can understand it through our feeling, but we can't understand it through our thinking.
So when the, sorry, Tavaria.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So when the person has an experience of knowing on an experiential level, knowing who the person is, who the Atman is, right? So after that experience, at that time, the Shakti has merged in for time being. And then again,
There is a glimpse
glimpse. It doesn't have that much energy or that much
to
attention.
remain in that state.
Yeah,
Oh.
to give attention constantly, right?
Right.
So it comes back, goes and comes back, goes and comes back, right? In the sansar. So when the final, so that is when the person's evolution, once they experience themselves, it more and more Shakti stays in the Shiva, stays merged in the Shiva. More and more that those things happen, and then eventually.
Let's divide it into 3 stages.
Okay.
See, you go for a glimpse of the mountain peak.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting at the point to see the peak. Right? And they're all clouds. So you can't see the peak. And then a ray of sunshine comes and the clouds disperse a little. And for a moment you see that with the golden snow and all that on top of it. And then again the clouds come back. So you had a glimpse. But then the teacher teaches you to climb the mountain. So, and climbing the mountain is not easy because you have to climb up a little, you have to come down a little. Again, you have to wait at that down, then again you start climbing. Again, then you have to come down a little, have to wait there. Again, you start climbing. And then finally you have to make the final, ascent on the peak of the mountain. Right? And so this whole process you go through, and then you make the final ascent and you come to the peak and you experience the top of the mountain. Now what?
That's it. You are there.
Now begins the real journey.
Oh, really?
Right. That the light which you have seen at the top of the mountain, to be able to absorb that light and bring it back down from the mountain and share it with other people.
Yeah.
Can you get it? It's very easy to go to the top of the mountain and sit over there and experience the light. But the real, test comes in taking that light and bringing it back down the mountain, because halfway you may lose all the light. So you have to go back up to the top. Again get the light and come back. It may happen many times. You understand? And then you come to a point where you've taken the light and you've come back down at the foot of the mountain, and you meet everyone and you are able to share that light.
Okay. So,
It's not, so it is in different stages. So what you're saying is right, that first there is a glimpse, but that glimpse is from the bottom of the mountain. The glimpse is from the bottom of the
so
mountain.
when you are telling us that when you reach there, that is the final stage?
Where?
You are at the peak of the mountain, or when you see you are there.
Then there's dharana. Dharana, dhyan, samadhi. You've reached the top samadhi. But then you have to come back to dharana. Trayam, ekatram, sanyam. All three together is sanyam. To be able to hold that light and bring it back down.
But that is not, that is where the life and death stops, or that is the beginning of the journey, and then many lives after that.
That is where choice comes in.
Okay.
That is where choice comes in. And you can decide to take another 100 births, 200 births, or whatever you want to take.
Or you can just stop not getting.
It would be very selfish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it would be very selfish.
But there is no punishment, right?
Huh?
There is no punishment if you decide not to.
It would be very selfish. And there is no real self left to be selfish. No? Be very selfish to do something like that.
So what? So
See, even if you cannot, what do you call, help somebody on the path, inner path of spirituality, but even if you can, a few words of yours can, do away with a little suffering for someone, you've still given a little bit of the light. Right? You have to come in Mrityu Lok. And that is why the art of enjoyment, to enjoy each moment of ordinary life, of sansar. So then at that moment, then you want to come back.
Yeah, because you know who you are.
Yeah, you want to come back.
No, then you enjoy because you know who you are.
No, you want to go on a picnic with friends and all that.
That's what I'm saying. Then it's a play of yours. I mean, then it's fun.
This afternoon we had a picnic.
So is there possibility of losing whatever you gained at the top, or you don't?
Yeah, you may lose it halfway, then you have to go back to the top.
Oh, then you have to do what? Oh.
Yeah. Many people decide to stay on the top. They become a hermit. And we call them as avduts. They stay at the top only. They don't want to come down. They'll stay in the jungle only.
Yeah, because coming down from that state,
Yeah.
I mean, that might be making them miserable.
If you
Maybe
meet
not
the
that-
wife again, all the light can go in one shot, Better not to meet the wife. Stay on top over there.
But is it not that to come down, there is a reason required? The reason, like for example, karmas yet to be settled, which are karmas which are hanging, they are yet to be settled. So one come down in order to settle it out, and then he is free because he has settled.
See,
karma.
supposing 95% of karma has been burnt and 5% is remaining, then you can choose how to go through that 5% of karma. You understand what I'm trying to say? Say like Ramakrishna or Raman. They chose to be finished with it. That let's have cancer and be finished with it. So they got cancer and they finished with it. Can you get what I'm trying to say? But you can choose to keep on coming back also. No? It is how you go through that last 5% of karma. You have to go through, everybody has to go through it. Nobody can, you can escape from 95%, but you cannot escape from 100%. So that last 5%, how you decide. And you have a choice there. So you can just have one, what you call, of cancer and be finished with it. And that's
So
the end.
Raman Maharshi and the Ramakrishna Paramhans, they are done with their karma, they could be.
Could be, I don't know. I'm just giving you an example. I mean, it's
So,
not right for me to...
Sorry, another question. So Raman Maharshi, Ramakrishna he used to get connected with the Kali. So this Kali?
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Oh, okay.
We are coming.
Okay.
May not come today, but we will come to that.
So, Rajan, you mentioned we can get away with 95%. Can you teach us how to, because even getting away from 95%.
See, anything you do in the higher states of attention does not attract the law of karma. For any karma, there must be the sowing of a seed. There must be the sowing of a seed. There are only 4 kinds of seeds. Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesh. There are only 4 seeds. You understand? Now, in that state of higher attention, if you're not sowing any of these 4 seeds, you're not creating new karma. Now I'm studying for the exam, but I'm already stuck on the result that I have to come first. Then every time I get that thought, I'm sowing the seed of raga. You understand what I'm trying to say? But I'm just enjoying studying for the exam. Right? Supposing I prepare these notes, but I'm stuck on whether you will appreciate it or, then I'm sowing a new seed of, but I'm just doing it for the fun of doing it. Then I'm not sowing any, I'm enjoying it, I'm not, what do you call, sowing any new seed of karma. Can you get what I'm trying to say? So, in certain states of attention, now when in double-arrowed attention, you cannot sow a new seed of karma. You have to come down from that to identification. You understand what I'm trying to say? But if I'm in that state of attention, I cannot sow the seed of karma.
That is for future karma or current karma. What about past karma?
Past is there. The go down is full.
So
And it will take some time to empty the go down. You cannot empty it overnight. A couple of 100 births or something, you will empty that. Empty the go, right? Nothing to worry about. The thing is that can I be in the daytime, can I spend more time in those higher states of attention where I don't create karma? To live, you're going to create some karma. You cannot get, right? If tomorrow my son falls ill, momentarily I'm going to feel that, he has fallen, I'll feel a little worry. Then I'll rise above it, right? So in that moment, I may sow a small seed of karma. To live, I have to, sow a seed of karma. But I don't keep on repeating the same seed. And you see, I just rise a little above it. It's not an overnight journey.
So 99% of a jiva, whoever is on the earth, creatures, they go in a life cycle of karma.
They keep on sowing new seeds.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What to do? What to do? Right?
right.
You can't do anything about it, but we can change. We can change. The mass cannot change. The mass cannot change.
it cannot be changed in one life cycle, maybe.
There are people who have changed it in one lifetime. But again, you see, when you say, I want to change it in this lifetime, you're sowing the wrong seed. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Just completely sowing the wrong seed. Can you see this thing? See, it is like this. The laws of life and the laws of spirituality are different. In life, you invest some money, you get, say, 5%, 10%, 20% interest on that money. So you get some return on that money. In spirituality, a person who invests 10 rupees may get nothing, and a person who invests 1 rupee may get everything.
Yeah.
Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Because it is not how much you invest, it is how you invest. Can you get what if you invest like a young child, just the playfulness of a young child, you will get your answer tomorrow, you will get your interest tomorrow. And you keep on investing, when will I get, when will I get, when will I get, when will I be free of karma? You'll never be free, however much you invest. You understand? Because you're investing with the wrong attitude. You get what I'm trying to say? So the idea is to not when I will reach the top of the mountain. The idea is that the scenery through which I'm passing just now, am I enjoying that scenery? Am I happy with that scenery? Right? And every spot in the mountain has a different scenery. And sometimes the valleys are more beautiful than the top of the mountain. Flowers and streams and meadows and all kinds of things, right? So, but I'm stuck at the top of the mountain, then I won't enjoy the valley also. I want to reach, but then I won't enjoy the valley also. So, the thing is that to walk and to enjoy the journey at the same time. And when we enjoy something in the now, then the future drops. Then desire for something tomorrow drops. And the minute desire for tomorrow drops, karma drops. That's the end of karma. That's it. Simple, no? Now, time has 3 dimensions. The dimension of light, the dimension of expansion, and the dimension of devouring everything, eating everything. We'll just see these 3 and then we'll stop for today. So we said in that Paramatma there was Ichha Shakti. Ichha Shakti is will. And then there was Kriya Shakti, to create. Kriya Shakti is what?
Kali.
Attention. Right? My eyes want to see. If attention goes out of the eyes, they can see. Right? If attention refuses to go out, they can't see. So the 5 senses work because of attention, Kriya. And when the attention goes out, the Kriya Shakti goes out, what does it give us? When you put a torch in a dark room, what does it give us? Knowledge of what is in the room, Gyan Shakti. Right? So, will, Ichha Shakti, attention, the torch, Kriya Shakti, and what is lying in the room, consciousness. It comes in my field of consciousness. Right? Right? Gyan Shakti. So, now these 3, you have to see how they are represented in Now, Kali has many definitions, the Sanskrit definitions. We'll go into them tomorrow, right? But I want to understand something, but there must be separation from that, and that separation is because of time. This is which aspect of time? Which aspect of time? Separation is which aspect? The stretching aspect of time. The stretching aspect of time. The expanding aspect of time. Right? But I understand that thing, get knowledge of that thing, I see it. So what am I throwing? What am I throwing upon it?
Attention.
Attention. Attention is
Light.
light. Light. Right? So I throw light. So that is the other aspect of time is light. Light is time. Time and light are the same. Science says the same thing. Right? And where there is everything, where everything reaches the speed of light, there is nothing like time. Time stops over there. Okay. This is what science says. So time and light are the same thing. And the third aspect of time, the third aspect, આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કે બધું ખવાતું જાય છે, where everything is being devoured, eaten. Can you get what I'm saying? And these are three aspects of time. Right? Now, I say this star is there in the sky. The star is 1,000,000 years ago. I don't know just now whether that star is there or not there, because it has taken 1,000,000 years for that light to reach me. Can you understand? So where there is light, there is time. The minute there is light, there is time. Can you understand? Time and light are the same thing. Right? So first we saw the separation. All duality is there because of time. Shiva and Shakti separate in duality. If they were one, there was no time. Right? But in that duality, there is. And nothing remains the same. It keeps on changing. And where this is all changing is time. And there's still one more aspect of time. Okay, it's difficult to say this in English. જ્યાં બધી વસ્તુ ગણાય છે, where everything is being accounted for. We take that aspect tomorrow. We'll talk of these three aspects of time. You understand? Okay, supposing there's one big, what do you call, accounting book, which is registering every thought you have, every emotion you have. જ્યાં બધી વસ્તુ ગણાય છે, where everything is being known, what do you call, noted down, where everything is, that is one aspect of time. So where all beings, whether movable, immovable, living, not living, where they are moving and being noted down, where it has been, that is time. જ્યાં ગણાય છે. Right? But let us go back to these three aspects of time. If you see in the Mahabharata, Krishna showed his divine form on three occasions. Once as Bal Krishna, he showed it to Yashoda. So when she looked in his mouth, she saw the expanding universe. What do you call it? That is the expanding, what do you call?
Brahman.
So the expanding aspect of time. Then when he went into, what do you call, Dhritarashtra's this thing for the Sandhi, and Duryodhan said that, isko bandi bana lo, right? And they said, you capture him. And he suddenly took on his divine form, and everybody's eyes became blinded by light. So that was the second aspect, where he showed the light aspect of time. And the third was when he opened to Arjun. Arjun said, please, he could see all the kings and everybody being eaten by Krishna. Everybody was being eaten. The devouring aspect of time. Right? So these are the three aspects of time which Krishna showed in the Mahabharata. So these time, and the final one aspect is where we count everything. Because this root card, one of its meanings is to count. Right? So, if I count, you and I are separate. Can you understand? If I compare, you and I are separate. But if I do not compare, I have stopped thinking, because no thought can be made without counting, without comparing. Can you get what I'm trying to say? Now, we have a word called Maya. You heard the word Maya? Maya. So the definition goes something like this. Miyate eti Maya. That which counts is Maya. So the minute man was given a thinking instrument, he started counting, and counting is Maya. Because as long as you're counting, you're not part of that totality. As long as you're comparing, you're not part of that totality. You're in Maya. My money, I've counted. I'll put it in a wrapper and put it in my safe or something, counted it properly. And then tomorrow I'll count it, and if 5 rupees are less, well, this is Maya. I don't understand. Counting is Maya. So that is one other aspect of time, the creation of Maya, the creation of that we are counting all the time, counting. And as long as we are counting, we are stuck in the mud of Maya, in the, quicksand of Maya. As long as we don't, drown in the quicksand, it's okay, right? So, these are the different aspects of time. We'll go into Kali tomorrow. I think, what's the time?
5:45.
Any questions we can take, yeah? We'll still have a little tea.
No, like you said,
એટલે it's difficult in English, કારણ કે ગુજરાતી આપણે એમ કે જે વસ્તુની અંદર બધી વસ્તુની ગણના થાય છે. How to put this in English becomes very difficult. I mean, to translate Sanskrit into Gujarati is very easy. But to translate into English, you make a mess of it. But we can say where everything is being noted. Where everything is being right. So that is Kali. And she has to give us that shock to awaken. Can you understand this? That the first shock is what? The first shock. The first shock.
Oh, when we are born?
No, in our life, where
Okay.
we come to spirituality, the first shock to awaken that inner jeev. Skali. What is it? Buddha saw a dead man. He saw a dead man. He says, is life going to end like this? He saw a sick man. Is everything being eaten like this? He saw Kali, no? He saw Kali, right? So, the first shock is that this body is going to end. Then what? Then what? And if that shock plays its proper part, then the transformation happens.
So is there acceptance, Uncle?
Huh?
Is it acceptance when you say that
Understanding.
shock?
It is understanding. It is an understanding. Okay, bhai, whether I die today or I died after 20 years, death is certain. Then is there a state where I can rise above death? Can I experience that state? That inner yearning should come, no? With this. It doesn't come.
More difficult.
It doesn't come. We are buffered. It doesn't come. And that shock is Kali. Can you understand?
Remain for a short period of time and again it goes on.
Yeah. Especially when we hear any news of a dear ones.
That is the shock of Kali.
Yeah.
No? Okay. We are going to die tomorrow. Now, can we reach a state where death is not death? Is it possible? Then what do I have to do? Where is the teaching? Right? Who is going to show me how to reach that state? Then all these questions then come up.
So, તમે કાલે લેવાના છો કે રામકૃષ્ણ પરમહંસ
એનું આવશે આમાં. I have written it.
So this form of Kali is different than whatever the Bengali peoples are.
No, it is the same Kali. It is the same Kali. But you have to go into the symbolism. If you come out, you have a what you call wine drinking goddess and a meat eating goddess and a blood licking goddess, then you're not going into the science, the symbology, what it is. This thing. You're just what your five senses show. You're taking that as, and there is no meaning. There's a very shallow way of looking at it. Very shallow. That is what is happening these days.
Right.
It's very, what do you call?
તમે વાત અડધેથી રાખી કે ગુરજેફ ડિવાઇડેડ અટેન્શનની વાત કરે છે જ્યારે તાવડિયાજી સેઝ કે અટેન્શન સેન્સિબલી ઓર
Sensitivity. Tavaria ji has not talked about double-arrowed attention. He has talked about the energy of sensitivity. And he says it takes the energy of sensitivity right from the senses to the divine. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay, we'll stop.
રાજેન, એક question.
Yeah.
શોક બફર કરી દઈએ છીએ આપણે, વાત આવે છે તો એમાં પેલું સેઇંગ છે ને કે કંઈ બી બને તો કે બન્યું તે ન્યાય, તો ઇઝ ઇટ અ બફર? આર વી બફરિંગ ધ શોક?
It is a buffer. It is true. It is true. But it is also a buffer. The way we use it, it becomes a buffer.
તો what do we do otherwise?
Means,
There is a shock, right? If we do not apply butter, I mean, a buffer.
supposing in my life certain form of suffering comes, right? અને હું મારી જાતને મનાવી લઉં કે ભાઈ જે બન્યું તે ન્યાય. I've just buffered the shock.
If you don't do it, what do you do?
You sense the pain. You hold the pain. You ask yourself, definitely there has to be some seed which I have sown, right? Which has invited this situation in my life. It cannot come of its own will.
So it is a karmic thing you are talking about?
In a way, it is karma. What seed have I sown? Why? Where did I invite this in my life?
So wouldn't it
And do I want to repeat it in some form? Right? Then buffer it. Then justify it. Do whatever. Right? Then it will come in some other form. But if you do want moksha, do you want freedom? Then you have to rise above it. Understand and rise above it. What do you think?
No, I was just saying, wouldn't it start the thinking process then? But like, પછી thoughts આવ્યા જ કરે, if I try to, or is it more like observation? Observing કે where
See,
it
by
came
thinking, I'm not going to get the cause.
from. By observing.
By observing and bringing sensitivity, which Tavaria ji says, the sensitivity of the pain, living the pain moment to moment, transforming that pain into tapa. In that very transforming into tapa, the cause gets burnt in the fire of tapa. The cause gets burnt.
So eventually, if we keep doing it, after some times, you don't feel that much pain so if normal person would feel so much shock, the person who has worked towards it, when the shock comes.
There's understanding. Now there is understanding.
Yeah,
And understanding, you will not feel pain.
feel pain.
You will not suffer. Pain will be there. You will
Yeah,
not suffer.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right?
એટલે
Okay.
એ શોક આવે, ધારો કે કોઈએ somebody insulted you or maybe took revenge or something, ત્યારે બન્યું તે ન્યાય, પછી સેકન્ડ કરીએ કે oh he is a soul, I am a soul, and then everyone is
All
part
this
of
is
cosmos.
buffering.
It's all buffering?
It's all buffering.
Okay.
It's all buffering. Better than becoming negative. Better than becoming negative.
Feeling.
દારૂ પીને જુગાર રમવું એના કરતાં સારું પિક્ચર જોવું સારું. છે તો પિક્ચર જ.
how to work with this impression food. Gurdjieff says there are three kind of food. So one is air food, another higher form is impression food. The impression is coming like every moment to moment.
It's a long answer. I cannot answer in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we'll take it tomorrow? Huh? How to work with impression food is your question. We'll take that tomorrow.
Because
Right? I want to શું કહેવાય થોડું મારું પોતાનું શું કહેવાય I want to bring in Tavaria Sahib's aspect because he has not talked about impression food.
Yeah.
He has talked about
Three Step Rhythmic Breathing.
huh? What has he talked about?
Incoming impulses.
Incoming impulses.
Impulses.
He has talked about incoming impulses and Gurdjieff has talked about impression food. So we'll take both of them. We'll take both of them tomorrow. Right? And you'll see that Tavaria Ji's is much deeper than what Gurdjieff is talking about. Actually, Gurdjieff's is not even practical. It's not even practical.
તો જે ટુ વે અટેન્શન છે
We'll come to something else tomorrow.
ઓકે ના પણ એમાં
Double arrowed.
યા ડબલ એરો
Right.
તો એમાં અટેન્શન પેલું યાદ આવે એટલે બેક એન્ડ ફોર્થ થાય છે લાઈક કમ્પ્યુટરમાં ટાઈમ શેરિંગ હોય ને એવું ભલે ક્વિક છે
That's a very good observation. That's a very good observation.
પણ એક સાથે બે જગ્યાએ નથી રહેતું ફટાફટ થાય કદાચ યાદ આવે ત્યારે પણ
Yeah, it's a very good observation. Attention cannot be divided. It actually goes to and fro only. So even in double arrowed attention, there is no real division of attention because attention cannot be divided. Right? So like you breathe in and you breathe out, you breathe in attention and you breathe out. Of course, it is a much faster speed than ordinary breath. Much, 30,000 times faster also. Right? So, but it is still to and fro. But you can bring it to a state where it is very nearly divided, but it is not, you cannot divide it. And there the knack is there because Arjun was looking down in the water. The fish was on top and the arrow was reversed. And he had to look in the water and hit the eye of the fish. Can you get it? So that is divided attention. It is divided attention. But you cannot divide attention. So he must have done it at a very, fast speed. Very fast. Okay.